So hi everyone, I'm going to show you how to add a trend line, which you might know as line of best fits, into a graph in Excel. So I have randomly generated some numbers here on my x-axis, which is my independent axis. So my independent variables are here, the variables that I know about, that I control, the time, and I'm measuring. So we assume that I've measured the distance, and I've just said here, for example, distance moved by a snail over a specific period of time. So I've taken my readings at every hour for every minute for 10 minutes. Okay, so I have some example distances here. Remember that the graph must always have a title. You must always label your axis with the correct variables. And in addition to that, you should also have the units in the x-axis. So to draw the graph, we're going to select. So usually you have what you want on your x-axis on the left and on your y-axis on the right. So I have drawn the graph, but I'll just show you one and I can delete it later. So I select my variables, everything I want to be in the graph. I select insert. I go to charts. You can use recommended charts and see what it has for you there, but because we want to draw a line of best fit, we're going to use the scatter plots option, which is right at the top there where my mouse is sort of going over. And I will click the little arrow beside it. These are different types of scatter plots. We want this one. And that's it there. And when you have it like this, you have to remember to, so you edit the title. If you're going to copy and paste this as a picture into your report, remember that you can delete that bit and then type the title into your Word document, or you can just edit it here. And then remember to also add in your axis, which is you select that and you say chart design at the top here, add chart elements, and you can say axis title, primary horizontal, and then you come in here and type time. Remember your unit is minutes, that's what you have on your x-axis. And then select the chart again, add chart. So you're selecting the chart. Whenever you click on the chart, to select your variables. We're not dealing with that, we're dealing with the graph itself. And then click that arrow again, axis titles, add your vertical, and that was distance, right? Yes, and we're measuring in meters. So that's how you would do that. You can delete these inner lines if you want to. So you just click on the grid lines and press delete. These grid lines, press delete. So that's how you would start off, and you can edit that to give it an appropriate title. However, we're focusing here on adding a line of best fit. So I'm going to delete this and work with the one I already have before. So now we've got our lines here. What do we know about the line of best fits? We'll just read up a bit about what we know. The computer is going to generate this. But if you're hand drawing a graph, you want most of the data points to be close to the line. And you also want to try and have at least, you try and have roughly the same number of points above your line of best fit as you have below. So let's see what the computer does. You click on the data points. If you click on one of them, all of them will be selected. So that's what you want. And then you select your graph, click on the data, let all the data points be selected, and then right click. Just right click on the graph there, and you see here where it says add trend line. All right, add trend line. And what we want here, because we can view it, we can see that our values are sort of increasing. So distance increases as time increases. So we know it to be a linear plot. So select linear there on the window that opens by the side. All right, so select linear. You can also add equation to the chart, but we don't need to do that here. And once you've selected linear, you want to go to some of these other ones. And instead of it being a dotted line, if you want to change that, click on the sort of paint bucket there and select solid line. And you can change the color to maybe black. It should be a solid line, not dash. Okay, there, solid line there. Okay, so just make sure your line is thin enough so that whoever is marking it can still see your data points. And that's the line. So let's check what the computer has drawn. We see that at least these lines these data points are close enough to the line. We have some really far apart ones, but we can see that we have roughly the same number We have 4 points above the line and 3 below the line. That's good enough, and that's what you have. And you can copy that. So right click copy and you paste it as a picture in your Word document. So that's how to add a trend line. I'll do that again. Click on all your data points, right click on it, select add trend line. Make sure linear is selected there. Go to the paint bucket option just there. Select solid line, change the line type that says dash type. Make sure it's a complete line. If you want to change the colors, you can. If you want to change the thickness of the line, you can. Just make sure that your data points and the line can be clearly seen. You can close that box. And there you have it. That is a line of best fit for this graph.